Those are your Western Washington University Vikings. We would like to begin by acknowledging our honor today as the ancestral homeland of the Coast Salish peoples who have lived in the Salish Sea Basin throughout the San Juan Islands, the North Cascades watershed, and memorial. Please join us in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Lumbee Nation and Mid-South Tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. And now, fans, would you please rise at the bugle and turn your attention to the flag to the right of scoreboard for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello and welcome to Harrington Field here on the South Campus of Western Washington University. Viking soccer on tap here as the Vikings take on Sonoma State University. The Seawolves of the CCAA come to town for the second non-conference game of the 2024 regular season. Western Washington 1-0 on the season, defeating another CCAA opponent in Chico State earlier on in this flurry of events at Western Washington this opening week of the fall season. Sonoma State coming off a loss down south I-5 at Interbay Stadium against GNAC rivals Seattle Pacific University. Western Washington head coach Greg Brisbane, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's trotting out a very similar lineup than he did against Chico State. The only change, Diego Alvarado into the midfield, replacing Aiden Fernandez. Other than that, though, it's the transfer sophomore Charlie Dyer in goal. Ahead of him, Sebastiano Silvetti and Krubel Tesfaye, that ever-reliable center-back pairing, including Silvetti, the first-team all-GNAC selection. In the midfield, Alvarado, Caden Wall, Lucas Hakamata. On the wingbacks, Joar Tidblom and Albin Janssen. And the attackers, Andrew Roeder, the goal scorer against Chico State late in the second half, secure that 1-0 shutout victory in classic Vikings fashion, a team that year in, year out has produced quality defensive units. It was just about putting the ball in the net, which held them back a little bit in 2023 as they fell to a 6-6-6 record, but already off to a really good start here in 2024. A non-conference win and a big one against a ranked Chico State team coming into 2024, number 18 in the nation, but they fall to Western Washington here at Harrington in their opening match of the season. Klaus Serrano also in the midfield, and Eric Bunnell at the top of the formation, the senior striker for Sonoma State. Legendary head coach Marcus Zemer in his 34th season at the helm. In goal, they have Jack Chapman, the redshirt sophomore out of Phoenix, Arizona. Ahead of him in defense, the captain, most experienced player on this young team, is Lucas English, the senior who led the Seawolves in minutes played last year and is looking to do similarly in 2024. Cypress Navarro-Yacio as well in defense. Midfield, Zarate, Banda Baila, Grayson Garber, Jose Rios Lara, Alejandro Verdugo, Oliver Gonzalez, and the star from 2024, Javon Cunningham. He had 3 goals last year for the Seawolves, and he's the returner for Sonoma State with the most goals in last campaign. They'll be looking to him to produce offensively in 2024 as we are underway here. Sonoma State in the blue, attacking from right to left on your screen, and the hosts Western Washington in the white jerseys attacking from left to right. My name is Adam Race, your voice of Vikings soccer. Thank you for joining us here on Vikings TV for another beautiful day for Vikings soccer. Sonoma State starting off playing out of the back, a team in a little bit of flux right now. This was one of the premier sides in all of Division II in the mid-2000s. 10 consecutive seasons of being contenders for the championship, winning it all in 2002. They're looking to get off to a good start here. Bandabaila puts the ball into the net, and it's headed away. Good reaction early on in this game by the Vikings defense, which is yet to give up a goal in 2024 through 90 minutes. Now on the wing, Javon Cunningham cuts in and takes a body from Quao Serrano. No foul. Alvarado can't contain the pass from Quao, though. Serrano, the sophomore, wearing the captain's armband alongside the senior Lucas Hakamada today, says a lot about the impact that Quao Serrano has had on this squad since coming in last season. An all-GNAC selection in his first year, the Division I transfer. Came in from Illinois State. Mount Vernon native. From Northern Illinois did Quao Serrano transfer in from. Came in as a freshman with eligibility as he did not play his only year at Northern Illinois. A previous Seattle Sounders Academy product, and he's shown that technical ability in his time in the blue and white. Always a creative force. Vikings looking to get their first sniff of goal here as they've got a throw in Sonoma State's half of the field. Rubel Tesfaye passes it off to Caden Wall, and now Joar Tidblaw on the Swede on the near side. Lifts it over, looking for Quao. It's a little bit beyond him. Albin Janssen tries to collect. Quao battling around two defenders, goes down, he draws a whistle. But it's going to be against Western Washington. Head referee for today's match is Juan Colazo, one of the most experienced referees in adjudicating games here at Harrington Field, a very familiar face. Sonoma State losing 2-0 in their season opener down in Seattle against Seattle Pacific, a game in which they allowed SPU 8 shots on goal to their 3, and the Falcons were able to convert on their opportunities. This is a team under Marcus Zemer that likes to play attacking, but is still looking for those reliable options. This is a team in somewhat of a rebuild. A lot of players making their debuts against Seattle Pacific. 21 different players saw the field for the Seawolves against the Falcons. It's a team looking for an identity, looking to see what players are going to step up and make an impact. Could call it a rebuild year. The Captain English boots it away as far as Caden Wall heads it back to Rubel Tesfaye. Most dangerous look of the match these first 3 minutes was from the Seawolves off an early cross, but since then teams have settled into it. Vikings building from the back as always. Tidblom sends one up to Albin Janssen, who was in a lot of space, but the flag goes up. They look down that right wing very often against Chico State. The Swedish connection of Tidblom to Janssen, trying to lift balls over the top. Albin Janssen, blistering pace and ability on the counterattack, something that Greg Brisbane has really tried to utilize in his previous 2 seasons. The 2022 GNAC Freshman of the Year, as he led the conference in goal scoring and has found himself on a little bit of a goal scoring cold streak. 13 matches without a goal, although he did pick up an assist on the Andrew Roeder winner against Chico State, putting a cross in that was deflected by Aiden Fernandez and put in by Roeder. Quao sends this cross to the far post. Waiting at that side is Roeder and plays it back. Hakamada has to chase. Seawolves lining up here, looks for the lone striker at the top of the formation in Alejandro Verdugo. Verdugo, the only freshman to start here out of Vacaville. Good sliding tackle there by Isaac Bandabaila, sophomore out of Oakland, California. player who impressed in preseason exhibitions for the Seawolves and one of many players looking to secure their spot in this 11 under Coach Zemer. Caden Wall, the corner kick specialist for this Viking squad for the last few years now in his senior season, goes over to take it. It'll be an in-swinger. Bodies crowded right up by the goal line of goalkeeper Jack Chapman, trying to cause disruption. Juan Collazo trying to make sure there's not too much pushing and shoving in there in that mass of bodies. Silvetti's just running circles around his man, trying to get some space. The tallest player out there. Sent to the near post. Dangerous on the line. And just cleared away. Joar Tidblom's shot was blocked, and Tesfaye's was as well. Well, that's as dangerous of a corner kick as you're going to want as Western Washington, causing chaos right on the goal line as intended. Got the big bodies of Tesfaye and Silvetti certainly trying to use that aerial advantage, and it was good delivery from Wall. He'll try to do it again, and he'll be joined on that near side by Diego Alvarado, making his first start of 2024, his 6th-year senior. Western Washington, the 4th program of his collegiate career. Wall sends that one in, an outswinger. Janssen tried to get to it on the near post, and it flashed off a defender in the end. Referee saying he got a piece of Grayson Garber, and it will be another corner kick. Vikings' 3rd corner kick early on in this match. Vikings now also have the first shot of the game, which was blocked away by the Seawolves defense. Wall takes the in-swinger, headed away as far as Janssen chasing, won't be able to get there. Came off a Viking last, goal kick, Seawolves. These two teams played each other in last year's season opener. It was a 1-1 draw down in Rohnert Park, California. Goals from Albin Janssen and Patrick Neal, who was the leading scorer for the Seawolves in 2023, but has since departed the program, and he will be sorely missed as Javon Cunningham is one of 2 players from 2023 remaining on the roster who had more than 1 goal. He had 3. Zarate, another member of the Seawolves squad who's going to be looked to in the attack, not making the start today, but did have 2 shots on goal against Seattle Pacific as Chapman leaves his box to make the clearance there. A nice little pass, tries to find Javon Cunningham, but he can't control it off the shoulder. Cunningham, the only returning member of this team to be an all-CCAA selection in 2023, an honorable mention nod for him. Cunningham, 4 goals, 3 assists. That led the team, 11 total points on 18 shots. Had a game-winning goal against a really quality Simon Fraser squad on the road in Burnaby. As that ball is played through for Eric Bunnell, but it'll trickle over the touchline. One of the more interesting stories about the Sonoma State team of 2023 is that they got their business done on the road predominantly, something you do not see very often. Undefeated on the road, 6 wins, no losses, 2 draws, but winless at home. 0 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws in Rohnert Park. Something you very, very rarely see. But if that pattern is to continue, at least to a degree in 2024, it bodes well for them here, although they have already taken their first road loss against SPU. They try to break through the Viking press here. Jose Rios Lara with it, driving up the wing. Leaves it off now, trying to find Alejandro Zarate, and a sliding tackle from Krubel Tesfaye, and a whistle goes. Zarate, the sophomore out of Elk Grove, California, 2 goals last season. Both came in the same game. 3-2 win against San Francisco State, 2 goals including the game winner. He also had an assist in 2023. That one's going to fall to the feet of Alvarado off the head of English, and he tries to lift it far post. Quao is there, controls it on a hop, cuts it back past the defenders, but recovering in time was Cypress Navarro-Ossio. Sonoma State can't get beyond the Viking press that time. Caden Wall lays it off for Alvarado. Plays a through ball to Bunnell. He's offside. It was a good idea and a good run, just mistimed by a split second. And Sonoma State will reset. The last time before that loss against SPU that Sonoma State had lost on the road was October 16th, 2022, and that was against a number 14 nationally ranked Pomona team. Seawolves pressing forward again here. A little bit of space to work forward in. Hakamada applies the pressure as well as Wall. Laid off for Garber. Now back on the far wing, Zarate. Thinks about an early cross, but he's shut down by Roeder. They get it back to Zarate in the corner. Guarded by Tesfaye, and Silvetti blasts it off the attacker and out for a goal kick. Sebastiano Silvetti, who really set the tone against Chico State, laying the body against their attackers and showing the physicality that, in the end, the Wildcats couldn't contend with, were unable to score, and really didn't trouble Charlie Dyer too much, who was able to pick up a shutout in his first Vikings match. As English is forced to clear that one out. English, a fifth-year senior, by far the most experience on this young Sonoma State squad. 6 underclassmen in the starting 11 for Marcus Zemer today. English, one of just 2 seniors, as that'll be a free kick drawn by Bunnell in a good spot to whip one in. With the dead ball abilities of Caden Wall and Quao Serrano, which we've already seen in this match. Every free kick from this distance is a goal-scoring opportunity. You look at the aerial presence of players like Silvetti and Tesfaye, and don't overlook Joar Tidblom as well, powerful in the air. And of course Eric Bunnell, who wrestles for position in the scrum. Wall the right foot, Quao Serrano the left. See what they go with here. And Quao looks to peel off. And Wall will put it into the mixer. English is the first player there. Heads it out. It'll be a corner kick for the Vikings. Bulk of the set-piece opportunities going the host's way in the first 15 minutes of this one. Vikings looking to go to 2-0 against CCAA opponents, a conference which has been dominant in the West region, producing a number of nationally ranked squads. Wall near post, Janssen flicks it on in the middle. Bunnell got a touch to it and ends up flashing it over the crossbar. But another dangerous corner kick worked well. Janssen made the run and got it to his striker partner, Eric Bunnell, but just couldn't get the contact he wanted, falling away from the ball. Talk about the competitiveness of the CCAA. Sonoma State, they certainly know all about it. Haven't been able to have success in the CCAA in a number of years now. Haven't made the NCAA tournament since 2016 as Hakamada lifts it over for Bunnell, who once again is just a half step offside. 2002 NCAA Division II champions, 3-time West Region champions, most recently in 2007. The 2000s were the decade of the Seawolves. They finished first in the CCAA 9 times between 2000 and 2010. Won 5 conference championships, 2 West Region championships, and of course, the national championship. Haven't finished higher than 5th in the CCAA since 2016, their last tournament appearance. That ball was laid off for Alejandro Verdugo. Skips by Sebastiano Silvetti, very well done. But a foul's going to be called. Too much shoving from Verdugo. Tough to contend with the physical presence of Sebastiano Silvetti, the big 6'5" defender out of Bergamo, Italy, who's just had an immediate impact. The continuity of defensive prowess that this Western Washington team has produced under Greg Brisbane over the previous years. Last tournament appearance for the Vikings, 2019, back when they won the GNAC. Great Northwest Athletic Conference, tending to produce only one, maybe two NCAA tournament participants per year. Chapman's forced to clear his lines under pressure from Bunnell. Nakamata does well there in the midfield to win it back. Caden Wall skips in field away from Jose Rios Lara and now plays it back. Long diagonal ball intended for Janssen, but short and easily dealt with by Oliver Gonzalez. Caleb Yoon, the sophomore, playing it to Grayson Garber, who switches play to the far side. They get it to the feet of the winger. Zarate now trying to keep it from going over that end line. He does. Shows off the pace there. Lays it off now. Grubel Tesfaye trying to do the defensive work. Cross goes far to the end of the box. Collected by Javon Cunningham and played back to Oliver Gonzalez. It'll be cycled back around by the Seawolves. Yoon. Nobody made the run onto that through ball, and it was easily dealt with by Albin Janssen, who's shifted into more of a fullback role. Juan Colazo says no foul. Cunningham takes it, and it's cut out by Tidblom. Albin Janssen, who started his Vikings career as an out-and-out forward striker, and it was working well for him at the beginning of 2023. He had 5 goals in 6 non-conference games, but was unable to score in conference play. Part of that 12-game goalless streak that he's brought into 2024, and during that he was shifted to the wing and now to more of an attacking fullback role. You see him cheating towards that Sonoma State back line, looking to make the run in. One of the fastest players in the conference, certainly, and deadly in one-on-one situations. You get an opportunity to him, and he'll finish. Roeder now has space on the far side. Bunnell's in the middle alongside Quao. Roeder breaks towards the end line. He's taking it himself, cuts it back on his right foot, and he's going to earn a corner kick. That's something you see again and again from Andrew Roeder. He gets the space on the wing, and he wants to create for himself. He's not one to put the ball in early. He wants to drive in as far as he can. We've seen it work out for him many times here at Harrington Field. He's looking to be one of the best creative wingers in the GNAC here as a senior. Already has opened up his tallies in 2024 with that goal against Chico State. Ended up being more of a poacher's goal after a scramble in the box. Wall sends it into the scrum of bodies once again. Far post, it's off the post. Wow. Inches away from an Olympico for Caden Wall. Another really good delivery from the senior, showing why he's the go-to corner kick specialist for Greg Brisbane's Vikings. What a way to open up the scoring in this game that would have been. And preventing goals hasn't been the strong suit of Sonoma State. Previous seasons, they only held 4 shutouts in 2023, second least in the Coastal California Athletic Conference. That one was left by Cunningham, but no one was behind him to take it. Tidblom was quick to react. Sonoma State averaging about 1.5 goals per game in 2023. Vikings scoring just over 1 goal per game. Wall to Hakamada. Hakamada, the engine of this team, wearing the captain's armband today, an unsung hero of this squad. So important how Greg Brisbane runs it tactically, doing the dirty work from end to end of the pitch. Five Vikings players looking to make runs in behind this bank of 4 back line for Sonoma State, and Caden Wall just flicks one up for someone to run onto. It's headed back. Dangerous boot up high by Albin Janssen. He's got to be careful there. You think if that makes contact with the Sonoma State player, that it could be a yellow, maybe even a red card, and it would have not been a good boot to take to the face for Grayson Garber, but danger's avoided, and it's just a whistle and a free kick. It's been interesting to see the development as Janssen falling into a more of a fullback role, trying to have to learn more defensive duties, as he was isolated at the top of the Vikings position for a lot of his early WWU career. Long diagonal ball, trying to switch play, but it's short and easily intercepted by Tesfaye. Wall skips it through for Roeder to run onto. Outside of the boot pass, nobody there. Big weekend for Vikings athletics, volleyball and soccer, both starting off their 2024 campaigns. Volleyball now 1-1. Women's soccer, a draw in their first match against Metro State University Denver. That one's way over the top, and Bunnell, that's got to be the third or fourth time that he's been called for offside. Just hasn't been able to time that run up just yet. A lot of CCAA representation in Bellingham right now. Sonoma State volleyball and soccer. Cal State LA making the trip up to take on Western Washington next week. Colorado Springs as well out of the RMAC playing the Western women tomorrow. Sure to tune into that game as the women looking for their first win of 2024 after that 0-0 draw with the Roadrunners. Deflected through ball by Quao Serrano, and it'll go out for a Seawolves throw. Sonoma State last year, 3 players accounted for 11 of their 21 goals. They are looking to find their star offensively. And Neil Patrick, who was, you could say, their star offensively with 5 goals, 3 assists, no longer with the squad. He was the target man. He took the most shots as well. Javon Cunningham, the All-CCAA honorable mention. Big shoes to fill. Playing right now on the left wing. And a lot of the play has been going down the right wing through Zarate. Javon Cunningham's play in front of goal is going to be key for the Seawolves in 2024 if they're going to produce offensively. Zarate loses it. Wall takes it away. Bunnell looking to time up his run. He falls for the offside trap that time, but Alvarado's got a lot of space to run onto. The ball from Wall. And some space on the wing. Charges towards goal. Step over is not effective, but it gets back to Janssen. Puts it on the deck, and it's cleared back up into the air. Janssen can't win the aerial duel. Seawolves do very well to break through the press on that occasion and get it out wide. Marcus Zemer likes to play high up the pitch, play an attacking game, and see if the Vikings can find space on the other end because of it. But that time it's almost lost on the back line. Alvarado was trying to pick his pocket and go on the break, but recovering in time was Grayson Garber. Ball over the top, headed back by Krubel Tesfaye to the feet of Andrew Roeder across midfield. Just can't keep it under him. Gonzalez, near side Cunningham. Marked by Janssen and Wall. Can't get that pass past Caden Wall. And Hakamada takes his shoulder to the chest, draws a free kick. Early on here, 4 shots for the Vikings, forcing 1 save out of Sonoma State. We've seen the most danger from Western Washington off of corner kicks. Tesfaye looks to spring Roeder ahead, and that's a very well-weighted ball. Space towards the end line. Puts it into the box now. Far side, Quao gets ahead to it. It's not strong enough. Easily handled by Jack Chapman, but a good run of play there for Western Washington. Wow, a player more lauded for his ability with his feet than with the head. And just wasn't able to get the connection he wanted that time on the header. Too much on that through ball from Yoon. And we're going to see our first substitutions of the match for Western Washington and Sonoma State. And you're going to look for a lot of changes in this game from Marcus Ziemer. And we've got 4 players coming on this time. For the Vikings, Aiden Fernandez and Frank Miedema enter the pitch. For Sonoma State, you've got Oswaldo Rojas, Tiernan Nicewander, Michael Gray, all entering the game alongside Rolando Gonzalez. So a quad change for Sonoma State. Remember, a team that had 21 different players see the field in their season opener. Good backwards ball, tries to get it to Albin Janssen. Defensive work is done, though. And Frank Miedema, who, you got to say, in that game against Chico State, he made his presence felt, running around and just bowling down defenders, going after the ball. As a little break here for Sonoma State the other way. Dyer's forced to come out and collect on a heavy first touch by Michael Gray. First action of the day for the Vikings' first-year goalkeeper. Western Washington team, which has produced some really quality goalkeeper talent over the last few years. Brandon Locke, one of the best goalkeepers in program history, graduating at the end of 2023. And previously, Patrick Restom in 2022, winning GNAC Defensive Player of the Year. But Dyer off to the best start he could be in his Vikings career with a shutout Thursday against Chico State, a ranked squad. Roeder, nice control off the chest. Outside of the boot pass to Hakamada. Looks to the other side. Long diagonal ball. Janssen's got space. He's onto that one behind the defense. Quaus in the middle. Janssen streaking in. Shot is saved at point blank range by Chapman. That's exactly the counterattacking look that the Vikings love to create through Albin Janssen over the last couple of years. And that time, his last touch just a little too heavy, brought him too close to Chapman, who was able to react and close up the space to shoot. A good save on a good opportunity, and we're going to have some attention for him here as he took a little knock on that brave dive out of his area. Quick injury break here is going to give the Vikings a chance to rehydrate, get some tactical advice from Greg Brisbane, Sonoma State as well. As Chapman looks no worse for wear, he'll walk it off. Viking events still yet to go on this busy weekend. Western Washington volleyball taking on San Francisco State tonight at 7. I'll be on the call for that game alongside Zen Hill. And of course, the Western Washington women's soccer team taking on Colorado Springs tomorrow in the afternoon. Johnson controls that back pass and pass back to Wall. Outlet pass to Hakamada, trying to switch to the far side of the field. 2 saves now been required out of Chapman, who made 6 against SPU in his season debut. Season opener. He split time last year, but is now looking to be the #1 option for the Seawolves as Tesfaye cuts out that attempted run through. Quality defending and trying to spring the break the other way. Roeder through ball to Miedema, flags up. And there's been a lot of offsides calls early on in this game, and you got to say that was probably the closest call of them. Miedema had acres of room ahead of him. But the flag does go up and play is stopped. Jose Rios Lara working in a pocket of space, leaves it off for Tiernan Nicewander, working against Janssen, The edge of the box, good defensive play by Janssen. So we're going to see a couple more changes here for the Vikings. The senior coming onto the pitch right now is Jacob Sundberg, replacing Roeder. And Alvin Janssen, after a nice defensive play, will come out, replaced by Lucas Whithauer, the redshirt freshman out of Vancouver, Washington. Provides a burst of pace on the wing, certainly. Frank Miedeba's unable to control that one. Yoon plays it in, and it skips into the box for Sonoma State and blocked in the end by Silvetti, who's first to react. Sends that ball high into the air. He's going to get a talking to from Juan Collazo, I believe, for kicking that one after it went out of play. But he's not interested in talking with Collazo. He just runs back to his mark. But a corner kick for Sonoma State on the near side here. First time we've seen that. Jose Rios Lara there to take. He'll hit it with a left foot, an outswinging ball. A lot of blue shirts in the box. First header is out by Quao Serrano. Lifted out back to the corner by Oliver Gonzalez, but Quao's quick to react again. Good defensive work from creative midfielder. A little shove in the back there from Quao Serrano against the attacker. Oliver Gonzalez is going to draw the ire of Collazo. Free kick. Sonoma State, nice little string of possession here in the attacking third. Still just one shot in the match for the Seawolves, and it was saved by Dyer. Now the Vikings looking to counterattack, laid off to Miedema alongside Fernandez. They have to stop up play now. The break was not on in the end. Tidblom to the far side, Whithauer waiting. Tidblom breaks in and tries to lay it off to that wing, but can't get it there. Recovers, though. Whithauer controls. Tries to work it past a couple defenders, just beyond the reach of Tidblom. And that pass gets away as well. Sundberg controls. Now Wall. And a foul near midfield on Caden Wall. 30 minutes gone in this one. Vikings, the bulk of the opportunities, striking the post once off of a Caden Wall corner kick, and a one-on-one opportunity for Alvin Janssen that was saved by Chapman. The best looks of this match so far. And right there, Tidblom got a shove in the back from Michael Gray and collided with another Seawolf and Tiernan Nicewander. It looks like there'll be no card brandished, but it will be a free kick opportunity. Juan Collazo not quick to go to the pocket in this one. We saw a flurry of yellow cards in that match against Chico State, one that ended up being pretty chippy on Thursday. Wall forced to readjust the position of that free kick, and I believe he just placed the ball right back where it was, but won't get a look from Collazo. Players make their runs. Ball goes into the mix. Far side, Miedema got a flick on it, but not towards net. And a little trip and a foul on Michael Gray. It looks like neither camp is happy with that call, as the Seawolves thought they had advantage there, and it'll be a yellow card against Joar Tidblom. Free kick taken too quickly for Juan Collazo's liking. And that is back-to-back games to start this 2024 season in which Joar Tidblom has seen yellow. captain. English takes it. Last man back. Seawolves working it around, looking for an opening through the tightly woven Vikings midfield, which has given countless teams problems here at Harrington Field over the years. Tough place to get a result, tough place to score at all. Vikings in 2023 allowing just 1 goal per game. There's a team that, if they were able to get on the board in a game, generally were able to come out with a result. Whithauer gives it off to Hakamada. Hakamada goes down on the challenge, no foul, but it will be a throw-in for the Vikings, and we're going to see some changes. Western Washington will be making, looks like, 3 subs. Riley Burai-Brown, the freshman out of Seaholm High School, comes on. It looks like we're going to see a couple of collegiate regular season debuts here. Fukai Imamura comes in for the first time in regular season play. And Diego Lopez as well, a couple of new additions to this roster making their Viking debuts. That one's headed forward, but over the top of Frank Miedema. Lopez, a transfer in his junior year out of Columbia Basin College in the NWAC. Very successful junior college career at Columbia Basin. And Fukai Imamura, the Osaka, Japan product, who previously attended Crowder Community College. So a couple of junior college standouts now wearing the blue and white and now performing at Vikings home matches at Harrington Field in 2024. Good to see. Lopez last year was part of a Columbia Basin team that had a 15-1-1 record and made the Final Four of the Northwest Athletic Conference. Made 16 starts, had 3 goals, 5 assists in over 800 minutes of play. And Lopez is going to slot into that right fullback spot. Fukai Imamura joins the Vikings after 2 years at Crowder Community College. He also comes in as a junior. Crowder Community College in Neosho, Missouri. Started all 19 games for the Crowder Rough Riders in 2023. He had 3 goals and an assist. As this one's taken away by Burai-Brown, the standout Seaholm High School product. Was shown a lot of promise in preseason as well as in game number 1. Whithauer puts it in. Miedema flicks it on. It's unable to be reached by Sundberg. Just the lone striker at the top of this Sonoma State formation is able to get by Imamura and keep it in bounds. That's Michael Gray off on a run. Imamura trying to recover. And they're going to say that ball went over the line and it'll be a Viking throw-in. Michael Gray does not agree with the call. He is still protesting it. He had Imamura beat on the first ball he played around him, but the guy was running back to make the recovery. And Michael Gray is still talking with the far line official about that call. Excuse me, it's going to be a free kick on an earlier foul. I assume Collazo played advantage and decided to bring it back for the free kick once that advantage quickly dissipated. Something you don't see too often in refereeing, something I'm personally a big fan of, being able to remember that foul and pull it back after a lack of advantage. So it will be a free kick for Sonoma State. Put into a dangerous area, an opportunity for English. He just wasn't able to put anything on it, and Dyer collects, but it looked like Lucas English was all alone there with an opportunity. Wasn't quick enough to react. Perhaps the best look since the first minute for Sonoma State right there. Lopez looks ahead. That pass ends up just at the feet of the defense, beyond the reach of Aiden Fernandez. Riley Burai-Brown on the field right now. Certainly my newcomer to watch for the Vikings in 2024. You saw in the preseason exhibition games here at Harrington Field against Peninsula College, UBC, and Trinity Western that he has an immense level of confidence and maturity out on the field despite being a true freshman. Senior season down the road at Seaholm High School, he led the Mariners to a 19-2-1 record, won a district title, and finished as state runners-up in the 2A division. Scored a goal in all 7 postseason games with the Mariners in his junior season as they placed 3rd in the 2A state championships. And Viking soccer's in his blood. His family members, he's got 3 family members who have represented Western Washington in one way or another. Stepfather, Justin Diener, played 1 season for the Vikings and then actually went on to win a national title in 2002 with Sonoma State. So an interesting crossover for Burai Brown here to be playing his 2nd collegiate game at Harrington against the Seawolves. As we're going to see change here for Sonoma State. Christian Alvarado enters the match. Alvarado, one of the freshmen on this squad out of Petaluma, California, Casa Grande High School graduate. Ball played in, is looking for Fernandez, but he can't fight for it. Wall whiffs on the attempted ball forward, taken away by the Seawolves. They've got a couple numbers forward. Through ball is going to be cut out by Sundberg on a slide. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half of this one. Still looking for the opener. First touch of the game for Alvarado. And it's played back. Jose Rios Lara. Alvarado, just his 2nd collegiate game, made his debut against Seattle Pacific University, playing 20 minutes in that match on Thursday. As I mentioned, a lot of new incoming freshmen, a young team, a rebuilding squad looking for an identity. And a tough place to play here in Harrington is a big test for a young team. Already ran into another stadium which has been a fortress, an Interbase Stadium for Seattle Pacific University. Good memories for Western Washington fans of Interbase Stadium, as that's where the women won their 2022 national title against Westchester University. Jose Rios Lara now for the Seawolves, looking for a way through the 2nd bank of 4 the Vikings have set up here in defense. Through ball's cut out by Whithauer. Good reaction, and he plays it forward to Miedema. And now back with Diego Lopez. Lopez looks long. Flicked on back to the goalkeeper, Chapman. Defensive work done by Cypress Navariacio, who has been very busy early on in this one. That center back role. Played 88 minutes against Seattle Pacific. That was the most of any outfield player. So they'll be looking for a lot of reliable production from him in 2024 with Sonoma State. Transfer from the College of Southern Nevada. That'll be a Seawolves throw in off the boot of Aiden Fernandez. 2.5 minutes remaining in the half. Thrown forward off the knee of Michael Gray. Now plays it back. Alvaro switches play to the far side, trying to find Cam Fisk on that far side. A player coming into 2024, recovering from an injury shortened 2023 and 2022, looking to stay healthy and play out a full campaign here as a junior. Hakamada looks for Miedema, can't control it cleanly. And all the way back to Chapman. Well, it's been a half of quick flashes of opportunity for both teams. You could say the Vikings have had the more dangerous of the opportunities, but not too much in it so far. Caden Wall hitting the post and Alvin Johnson being denied at point-blank range, the highlights. Not too dissimilar of a story as we saw in the Chico State match on Thursday, as that's going to be a foul and it's going to be a card as well. That's going to be Caleb Yoon picking up a yellow card for the foul on Miedema. And Yoon proclaiming that's his first foul of the match. How was that a yellow card? But it was a certain foul in an attacking opportunity, as judged by Juan Colazo, so a yellow card has been given out. Wall's looking to send this one all the way into the box as Christian Alvarado is told to back up from the set piece. Wall opts to take it short. Burai Brown, he'll lift it into the area. Tidblom was alone. Hakamada! Lucas Hakamada opens things up here with 1 minute remaining in the first half. And it's all too fitting that the breakthrough comes on a set piece. The Vikings have looked dangerous from set plays, all 45. Burai Brown played the ball in. It skipped by Tidblom, and Hakamada made no mistake from about 6 yards out. 1-0 Vikings. A lot of credit to Riley Burai Brown for the ball in there, and Joar Tidblom getting the little flick onto Hakamada. I believe that should go down as the first collegiate assist for Burai Brown in his career. First assist of the season for Joar Tidblom, the first goal of the season for the captain, Lucas Hakamada. And Sonoma State want that to be called offside. It hasn't been called offside, and they're still protesting. And we're back underway here. Well, that's exactly what the Vikings needed. Not just an opening goal, but an opening goal in the first half. They had to wait until late on in the game on Thursday to get their opener, but a Sonoma State team who is looking for their main attacking outlet to put them in a deficit here is really going to force them to scramble, try to see if someone can step up and even things up. Lays from the crowd for the Vikings opening goal here. Hakamada, who was a second-team All-GNAC selection last year, continuing to produce for the blue and white as we're going to tick down the seconds here in the first half. 1-0 Western Washington is the score after 45. A goal created by Burai Brown, and Tidblom finished off by the co-captain Lucas Hakamada as the Vikings in the lead as we go to the break. We'll be back in just about 15 minutes for the second half of action. I'm Adam Race, and I'll see you soon. Back here at Harrington Field in Bellingham, Washington, campus of Western Washington University. Adam Race on the call. 45 minutes upcoming to find a winner in this matchup between the Western Washington Vikings and the Sonoma State Seawolves. As it stands, that winner would be a late first half goal by Vikings senior co-captain Lucas Hakamada. His first goal since his freshman campaign, just his second collegiate tally. He was without a goal contribution in 2023 and was still selected as a second-team All-GNAC selection, which is really just a testament to the work that he does at all parts of the pitch for the Vikings. But getting on the score sheet now for the first time since 2021, and it has given the Vikings the first half lead now going in to the second 45. Stats for that first half. Possession actually slightly in favor of the visiting Sonoma State Seawolves, 53% to the Vikings, 47%, but the shot chart in favor of the hosts. 7 shots for the Vikings, 4 of them on target, forcing 3 saves from Seawolves goalkeeper Jack Chapman. For Sonoma State, a couple of shots, both of them on target, both forcing saves out of Charlie Dyer, who is still yet to concede in his young Vikings career now through a match and a half, and 45 minutes away from what would be his second career shutout in his second career Viking game. A player who played 2 games collegiately at the Division I level at San Jose State University, but was unable to keep a clean sheet in either of those appearances. So a fortuitous start to his Vikings career so far. Hopefully he can keep it going for the next 45 as we are almost set to go here. Players re-entering the pitch. Greg Brisbane's Vikings and Marcus Zemer's Sonoma State Seawolves. Seawolves with shots in that first half. It was Oliver Gonzalez with a shot on goal and Michael Gray with a shot on goal. Gray's run in on net, which was pounced on by Charlie Dyer, perhaps the best opportunity of that first half for Sonoma State. For the Vikings, shots coming from Hakamada, of course, with the goal. Caden Wall with a shot. Albin Johnson with 2 shots, one of them on goal in a tight one-on-one situation. A good save was made by Jack Chapman. Eric Bunnell with a shot that sailed over the crossbar. Quao Serrano, a header that was saved by Chapman. And Joe R. Tidblom with a shot and picking up an assist on that first goal, alongside with freshman Riley Burai Brown. I said as soon as he came on the pitch that he is one to watch for Western Washington in 2024, immediately showing why with great service off of a set piece that was delivered to him by Caden Wall. Played a long direct ball into the box, just tipped on by Tidblom, and Hakamada all alone to head it in on the near post. Shouts of offside from Sonoma State, but the goal stands, and it's 1-0 Vikings as we kick off here the second half. Vikings in the white, now attacking from right to left. Sonoma State in the blue. They'll be attacking from left to right on your screen. Western Washington holding their first halftime lead of 2024 as they picked up the winner with just 13 minutes left to play against Chico State on Thursday, and they're looking to go 2-0 against CCAA opponents, which is always a tall task. It's an early ball through. That's going to find Frank Miedema right down the line. Racing into the middle is Aiden Fernandez. He's there, and it's just beyond his head. That would have been a dream start to the second half right there. Sundberg's second cross attempt won't work out, and Burai Brown collects. He played it off the hand of the Sonoma State defender. No call. But a really nice start there. Fernandez was just a step behind, putting that in at point-blank range. Miedema now on the near wing. In a duel with English, he'll go out for a Vikings throw-in. Sonoma State back line of Lucas English and Cypress Navarro-Asio were very busy in that first half. It's Burai Brown. Plays it back to Tidblom. Looks like just about an identical lineup that went off the pitch at the end of 45 for Western Washington. So that's Lucas Whithauer, the redshirt freshman, with a burst of pace past the defender. Ball into the box. Quao unable to get there, and it's collected by Sonoma State. Christian Alvarado chips it past Sundberg, but right to the feet of Lucas Hakamada. Battles off 2 defenders and wins a throw. Head coach Greg Brisbane said of that first game win against Chico State that first game of the season's always difficult and that neither team was as sharp as they're going to be in a few weeks. Perhaps the Vikings shaking off the rust a little bit, going from late second half goal to late first half goal here. Ball is played to the near side. Making the run is Christian Alvarado. He keeps it in bounds. A little bit of space, one-on-one with Lucas Hakamata. Step overs, cuts to the inside. He's got a runner on the outside in Cam Fisk. He gets it to him, and the cross is blocked by Hakamata, doing the work on both ends right now. And Hakamata is able to keep it in with help from Quao Serrano. Plays it to meet him up. Uri Brown's pass is right to the feet of Alejandro Zarate. Cuts past Hakamata. On his left foot, Hakamata recovers and wins it back. Ball played by Fernandez to Frank Miraba, and Fernandez down in a little bit of pain. He'll get a whistle and a chance to walk it off. Brisbane said that opening win of the season was a testament to the program to get that opening day win, and they look to get some rest, recover, and take on another tough opponent Saturday. It's always tough when the CCAA comes to town. Conference has produced so many of the powerhouses in the West region over the years. Handful of ranked teams in that conference right now. Chico State, who came into that opening matchup ranked number 18 in the nation, still just the third highest ranked team in the conference. Behind a Cal State LA team that has been a national contender in previous years, as well as a Cal Poly Pomona team that has been excellent as of late. And for a few years going back, one of the most famous wins in recent Sonoma State history coming against Cal Poly Pomona, knocking them out of the 2022 CCAA tournament on penalties, a big upset against a ranked Pomona squad. Sonoma State would be knocked out in the next round of that conference tournament, but a big result for them nonetheless. Looking to return to the postseason for the first time since 2016, the NCAA postseason, that is. A team steeped in so much history at this level. They're forging ahead here, trying to get something going through Zarate, but it just dribbles beyond his feet, and Uri Brown cleans up. Played through to Zarate again. Trying to go 1-2 with Cunningham, but it's taken away by Whithauer, who, no nonsense, clears the danger away. Vikings in that Chico State game held the shot advantage 11-8 and 6-4 when it came to shots on goal. So not only was it a win against a quality opponent, but a win that you could say the Vikings certainly deserved with the way they played. Avenging a season opening loss, or excuse me, second game of the season loss in 2023, as the opening game of 2023 was this exact matchup of Sonoma State and Western Washington, a 1-1 draw. Goal scorer in that game was Albin Janssen, who started this match but starts the second half on the bench. Whithauer in his spot at that right wingback position. And a slide by Fernandez comes up with nothing, as blazing down the wing is Bondabaila, driving all the way into the middle. Flick header on. Dyer is up, and it's into the top of the netting. Dyer gave it a look, but was not needed in the end. Good run by Bondabaila, a dynamic player who's shown out for the Seawolves in preseason. One part of a host of players looking to secure a spot in a starting 11 that really hasn't been determined yet by head coach Marcus Ziemer. A couple of changes today as Grayson Garber and Alejandro Verdugo making their first starts of the season, replacing starters against SPU and Oswaldo Rojas and Michael Gray. A young team, a rebuilding team, looking for an identity. And the captain, who's got the longest tenure with the Seawolves, English, plays it back to his goalkeeper, Chapman. Hakamata collects near midfield, plays it back. Lopez back to Tidblom and all the way back to Dyer. Hakamata back to Lopez. Columbia Basin transfer. Miedema tries to give it off to Fernandez, who gets to Whithauer. Through ball now to Miedema. Passed it through his own legs there, and English is able to easily recover. Wow, coming back with a recovery run, winning the ball for Western Washington. Vikings were undefeated at home in non-conference play last year, 2-0 in a couple of matches against Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference opposition in Regis and Colorado School of Mines, a couple of shutout wins. Sadly for the Vikings, though, that kind of form was unable to be consistently replicated in GNAC play, as they ended up far outside of the top of the GNAC table where they'd want to be. As there's an opportunity for Sonoma State, lashing at it in the end was Zarate, frustrated with himself. He had the opportunity on the volley in a couple yards of space, but just couldn't make clean contact with the right foot and ends up dribbling easily into the hands of Dyer. First big opportunity of the second half for the Seawolves, who have had a better look at the ball here at the beginning of the second 45. Now up to 4 shots on the match. Third save made by Dyer. As they pass it out to the wing. Bandabaila looking for space. He's got it. Cuts it in. Puts it direct on goal. Unable to curve it into that far side netting. And Sonoma State wanted a deflection. Don't get it. Did not come off of Diego Lopez in the end. And it'll be a Vikings goal kick. Center back pairing right now for the Vikings is, as it looks right now, Fukai Imamura alongside Joar Tidblom, Grubel Tesfaye, and Sebastiano Silvetti, who were the key to that Vikings defense that only conceded a goal per game in 2023. They're on the bench right now. Greg Brisbane trying a different lookout on that back line. Such a luxury to be able to have such a quality center back pairing and have another one behind him able to step up. Tidblom, a player who is able to play in a few positions across the pitch, mostly in a defensive role. Wore the captain's armband on Thursday. And the man in it today, Kwao Serrano, puts pressure on Hakamata, the other co-captain. Over the top and controlled by Imamura. And he gives it right back to the feet of Oswaldo Rojas. Has a shot with the left foot. Dyer's there easily to make the save. His 4th of the night. 4th of the afternoon, I should say. Daytime soccer to start out this 2024 season. First game under the lights being that Thursday matchup between Western Washington women's soccer and Metro State University Denver. Another beautiful day for it today. A little bit cooler than we had on Thursday. Blazing hot sun. A little bit of Bellingham cloud cover as we are so accustomed to seeing. Uri Brown slides in and kicks that out away from the feet of Cam Fisk for a Sonoma State throw. Dyer now up to 7 saves through a game and a half in his Vikings career, still yet to concede. The story of the season last year for the Vikings, the fact that they were putting up 15 shots a game. That led the GNAC, but we're only scoring a goal per game, so you love to see the conversion go up here as the Vikings have got a goal on the board in only 8 shots. Only 7 in that first half to score. Twice as effective as we saw last year. That's a good through ball. Aiden Fernandez running onto it, forces Chapman to leave his area and boot it long. They're coming together between teammates and Tidblom and Lopez, but neither the worse for wear. Hakamata goes down in a bit of pain. Free kick awarded. Sonoma State, a team last year who were no stranger to racking up fouls and racking up yellow cards as well. 50 yellow cards issued against them in 2023. 12 more than were issued to their opponents across the season. Uri Brown is trying to switch the play near side to Sundberg, but got too much air under that one. Cam Fisk throws it in now. Back to Fisk. Vikings immediately pressing. 3 white shirts crowd the ball. Sonoma State breaks out, switching the play to the far side. Vantabila on a run of his own now. And he can't make it all the way as he was challenged by both Lopez and Uri Brown, a couple of Viking newcomers. 4 different debutants in 2024 on the field right now. One of them, Lucas Whithauer, makes the interception and tries to spring Fernandez the other way, but it's not to be. That ball finds Oswaldo Rojas, but it just trickles beyond him. Throw in Vikings. Substitutions for the Vikings, as we're going to see experience re-enter the pitch in Caden Wall. And the all-GNAC first-team selection, Sebastiano Silvetti, comes in to replace Diego Lopez, who has a solid first shift in the books as a Viking. And Uri Brown will go to the bench, replaced by Wall. Uri Brown and Wall both linked up on that goal off the set piece. Unfortunately, unable to award more than 2 assists on a goal. So Uri Brown and Tidblom, the 2 recipients of goal contributions on that one. But Wall's set piece ability has really been on display in this match. He hit the post on a corner, just maybe half a foot away from a spectacular Olympico. Silvetti working ahead out of his position to make that interception. He's a big man, but he moves very well. He gets up and down the pitch quickly. He can stray from that center back role, come up to the midfield to make interceptions and get back without losing a step. Such a valuable piece of this defense. Christian Alvarado tries to cut inside, but Wall boots it clear. Vikings, a team who set the program record in draws in 2023. 6 of them, a 6-6-6 record. It was a season where those one goal results were the big differences. That's a nice ball over the top by Caden Wall. A couple players to run onto it. Miedema's onside. He lays it off. Aiden Fernandez near post, side netting. And now I believe the flag did go up on the last pass there by Miedema, so looking back at that one, would have been better if Frank had taken the shot himself. It looked to be a 2-on-0 opportunity for Western Washington, not converted. Cunningham makes a turn and looks for the run of Christian Alvarado. Playing back is Sundberg, the senior. He heads it past his own goalkeeper in the end and clears it away. Little miscommunication, but not punished for it immediately. Ball is collected by Rojas, though. Looking for a way beyond Quao, and he cannot find it. Vikings goal kick as the midfielder tracks back and plays some good defense. 3 subs for Western Washington. Frank Miedema leaves the pitch, replaced by the senior Eric Bunnell. Diego Alvarado replaces Aiden Fernandez, and Albin Janssen coming in for Whithauer. Make that 4 substitutions as Andrew Roeder is coming in for Jacob Sundberg. So both of the crafty, dangerous wingers for the Vikings who have had so much success in front of net the last couple of years coming onto the pitch. Roeder on the left, Janssen on the right, and Bunnell, the senior striker, up at the top of the Vikings formation. Alvarado will provide attack as well. Alvarado, who Scored his first Vikings goal in their biggest win of 2023, an upset of a ranked Simon Fraser team on senior night. Goal also coming from senior Elliot Rains. A lot of space right here for Rojas to put a ball into the middle. He leaves it on the deck. Dangerous ball in the 6, and it's cleared away on a dive by Sebastiano Silvetti. And a free kick is going to be given here to Sonoma State near the midfield. But another flash of quality down that right side between Oswaldo Rojas and Christian Alvarado. Vikings need to find an answer on this right wing right now. Fukai Imamura and Andrew Roeder, the players over on that wing for the Vikings defensively. And this time they're trying to find the run of Bandabela. It's denied. Cleared long by Tidblom. He's put in a long shift in this one and a quality one. The only yellow card for the Vikings in this match has been against Shuar Tidblom. So he gets up for another header here. And he brings down Cunningham right there. And it's going to be a free kick. And this is a distance where Sonoma State could think about putting it directly on goal or putting it into the box. Goalkeeper's nightmare to try to set up your wall, set up your defense correctly, and correctly adjust to whichever option the set-piece taker decides to go with. You got to say the Vikings probably hold the aerial advantage with presences such as Sebastiano Silvetti, Joar Tidblom, and of course having the goalkeeper in there doesn't hurt. It's going to be a 3-man wall that Dyer's getting set right now. Roeder, Alvarado, and Quao in the wall. And Javon Cunningham and Alejandro Zarate, the 2 main scoring threats in 2023, returning for the Seawolves. As there's a shoving match going on right now in the box as Juan Collazo now becomes keen to it and goes to sort things out. Things getting a little bit chippy. We saw something similar on Thursday. Clock's going to be stopped here, and that makes me think that a card's going to be brandished. The referee, Juan Collazo, is going to talk things over with the assistant referee on that side, is Christine Suter. If she saw anything that might be a yellow card offense in that scrum. Clock stopped at 26:04. First 20 minutes of this half have just gone by in a hurry. And to be frank, Vikings can't be too happy with how this half has gone. They've given up a decent amount of quality chances to the Seawolves, who just haven't been able to put it in the back of the net or really troubled Dyer just yet. But this, another dangerous spot. And it's going to be Juan Collazo speaking with Bunnell and English. Vikings and Seawolves Senior, they're going to handshake. Everybody's friends again. English still pleading his case that he had his jersey tugged, but nothing Collazo can do about it right now. Just got to restart play here. 26.5 remaining. Cunningham and Zarate, the only 2 players on this roster who scored more than once last year, and it looks like Collazo has noticed that Cunningham moved that ball up about a yard while he was off talking in the scrum. And this is not at all uncommon. Strikers love to get even an extra half foot of space on free kicks, as do players in the wall generally. It's kind of just part of the game. Collazo can only do so much. And here is the free kick at last. Cunningham with the right foot. He goes direct and directly into the arms of Dyer. So much ado about nothing in the end, as it was not troubling the sophomore goalkeeper at all. His 4th save of the match. And boots it far beyond midfield. That's going to go goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Chapman plays it well with the feet. Wall collects in his own defensive half. Janssen his first involvement after coming off the bench, that time taken away by Bandabela. Back to Janssen and all the way back to Tidblom. Janssen from Skellefteå, Sweden. Joar Tidblom from Norrköping, Sweden. So we're going to see changes on both sides. Western Washington are going to put Krubel Tesfaye back in, so it's that starting center back pairing back on the pitch with Tesfaye and Silvetti. For Sonoma State, re-entering the fray is Brian Chang. That'll be actually his first appearance of this match, I believe. A forward, a sophomore out of Simi Valley, California. Quick throw in. Sonoma State bench is not happy about something. I can hear him up here in the stands. They're saying the ball never went out. They also wanted it to be a handball. They're saying he picked it up before it went out, and now Hakamada has the ball stripped away from him from Oswaldo Rojas, and this is getting a little bit farcical right now. As Collazo once again has to stop the clock to talk things over here, as now both head coaches are in a heated discussion, and a yellow card has been issued to Sonoma State coach. I believe that's the head coach, Marcus Ziemer, getting the yellow. They have certainly been vocal down on the bench throughout this half. They're unhappy about that first Vikings goal being adjudicated onside. They thought Hakamada was offside, maybe some leftover bitterness from that. Greg Brisbane is all the way up out of his technical area at the midfield line. Joining in on this conversation between Collazo and Ziemer. Ziemer is demoing what he saw happen down there. Juan Collazo trying to regain control of the benches right now. Clock is once again stopped here at 24:42. Restarts on the kick by English. Silvetti wins the header, sends it out for a throw-in. Marcus Ziemer certainly has not lost any fire and passion through 34 years at the helm of Sonoma State University. So that's what it takes to be one of the legends of Division II men's soccer coaching. As that cross is going to go to the far post and dealt with by Janssen, but recovered by Sonoma State. The shot ended up coming off the boot of Zarate. Kept it low enough, but it was far right. Dyer did not make an effort at it. The name Marcus Ziemer may be familiar to Western Washington fans. That is because he is the father of Vikings women's soccer legend Tara Ziemer, the 2022 National Player of the Year, as the Vikings won the national title. Also the father of Taylor Ziemer, a professional player in the German Bundesliga right now. A good goal scorer over in Europe. That cross is put in and flicked away by Silvetti, only as far as Cunningham on the other side. Back heel to Zarate, shoots over the crossbar. And Sonoma State, with this flurry of opportunities, has now matched the Vikings' shot total 8-8. And Dyer's actually been called into action more times than has Chapman on the other end of the pitch. 4 saves for Dyer, 3 for Chapman. And now shouts of time wasting from Sonoma State, as Dyer was a little bit delayed in getting a ball for the goal kick. Run in by Janssen, and he's found by Tidblom. Overlapping run by Quao, and he's brought down in a heap. That's going to be a foul and a good free kick opportunity for Western. As Chapman immediately goes to work trying to set up his defenses. Caden Wall and Quao Serrano, both excellent in dead ball situations. It looks like it's going to be Alvarado and Quao standing over this one. Caden Wall is going to go to the top of the box. I've seen Quao Serrano strike a free kick with both the right and the left foot both effectively before, so he's definitely still dangerous from this position. Only a two-player wall. Looks like it's going to be a routine here. With lays off to Alvarado, has a shot, and it's picked up off the line by Chapman. A good idea by Alvarado, and a shot with some venom on it, but Chapman ends up right behind it and makes the save and the hold. Bandabela goes down, no whistle, says Colazo. Quao tried to play it into the middle for Bunnell, but he didn't make the run. Roeder on this near side hasn't had too much action since coming on. Thursday's hero, the game-winning goal scorer, with just 12 minutes remaining on the clock in that one. We're reaching that area of the game here. 20 minutes left. Sonoma State pressing forward through Verdugo, guarded by Tesfaye and Wall. Does get the cross in, collected by Dyer. Just ahead of the substitute, Brian Chang. Seawolves seeing success through the wide areas right now. It's obviously going to be difficult to deal with down the middle, Silvetti and Tesfaye, but the wings have been a spot that Sonoma State's been able to work the ball into the box through. Isaac Bandabela plays it back to Chapman. Bunnell providing the pressure. Chapman plays it back to Bandabela. And now up to Zarate, still looking for a way through this press. They switch it near side through English. And out of Fisk. Long ball by Fisk. Evades the boot of Tesfaye, but not the boot of Silvetti. Zarate. Far side, Cunningham. Cunningham cuts it inside, works it around Quao, lays it off now. Garber has a shot that hit more turf than ball. And now the secondary shot by Oswaldo Rojas is high and wide. And Aiden Fernandez is going to re-enter the pitch for Western Washington. As for Sonoma State, Rojas comes off and Jose Rios Lara, who started this match, comes on, and it's going to be Quao Serrano, the co-captain, who looks to be going to the bench on this substitution with Fernandez. He's put in a good long shift here today. Dyer certainly in no hurry to take the goal kicks here with under 20 minutes remaining, trying to hold on to a shutout and a win. Handball, I believe, is called right there. Vikings, they're going to take this free kick quickly. Hakamata finding Roeder, but the pass is off. Does fall to Roeder in the end, off the head of Fisk, though. Roeder is dispossessed by English. Spinning move by Alvarado to get round a couple. Step over, lays it off for Fernandez. He's hit in the back, no foul. Zarate came in and got more ball than man in the end, so no foul. Another attempted through ball that just does not get by Tesfaye. Bunnell, Roeder. Back to Bunnell. It gets by English. Hakamata now with it. Roeder might think about putting in an early cross. Plays it back instead. Dribbles back. And Silvetti's pass right there. Roeder tried to go up and get it with his hands, rugby style, but it went beyond him. Attempted through ball this time, easily dealt with by Janssen. Passes it back to his goalie, who puts a boot through it out of bounds. So we're going to see some changes here for the visitors. Coming back onto the pitch is Rolando Gonzalez, sophomore winger out of Hayward, California. Gonzalez had one shot in his collegiate debut against SPU in 15 minutes, a redshirt freshman. As Silvetti shields off his man and earns the Vikings the goal kick. And it seems with every single goal kick, the shout from the Sonoma State bench gets louder and louder. Dyer taking the seconds he can off the clock. Tidblom, he shields off his man very well. Beats Rolando Gonzalez in that physical battle and earns a throw-in for Western Washington. Tidblom opts to go long with it. Flick on. Janssen trying to run onto it as well as Fernandez, but it trickles through to Chapman, who clears. Heavy touch off the chest, and Hakamada is able to get it to Roeder on the left wing. Fisk ahead of him. Plays it back to Hakamada. Vikings maintaining possession. The team very used to building out of the back under Greg Brisbane. Now they get it to Alvarado. And that time the pass was deflected by Fisk, but it will end up as a Vikings throw-in as Roeder opted to allow it to go out of bounds. All the way back to the last man in Silvetti, very calm with the ball at his feet. Something you love to see as a coach from a center back when you love to play out of the back is at ball playing center back. And they've got a few in Tidblom, Silvetti, and Tesfaye. And that time Hakamada got in the way of the attempted pass by Silvetti. Going down is Brian Chang. The foul's against Alvarado. And there will be a two-man wall here. Charlie Dyer calling for his defenders to front their man, not give them any space on their runs here into the area. The wall is Alvarado and Roeder. Free kick taker is Zarate, and that's a good one, but Wall is able to get there first. Back to Zarate, good first touch to bring it down, and then win a throw-in off the boot of Alvarado. Hakamada doing the work going down, drawing the whistle. Under 14 remaining in this one. Vandabela playing it back so the Vikings can take this free kick as quick as possible. That's all Sonoma State wants, is the ball back in play. Flick on header by Eric Bundle's going to find Alvarado. Is a good one. His first time shot just dips over the crossbar. That was not too far off on the first time shot by Alvarado. And it looks like it was called actually as offside as a free kick was taken. Fisk, near side, runner ahead of him is Brian Chang, but he opts to go infield instead. And Silvetti once again is there. Garber goes back to English. Now switching to the left side, Cypress, Navarro, Ossio. Diving in to try to get it is Aiden Fernandez, but Vandabela wins that battle, and it'll be a foul as Fernandez had arm in arm hooked there. Zarate gets it past the striker Bunnell. Shoots with his right, blocked by Silvetti before it got into the 12-yard box. But it comes out to Fisk, and Fisk's pass is beyond Brian Chang. That's a wasted opportunity right there by the junior. 12 minutes left in this one. What a start it would be for the Western Washington men to pick up a couple of shutout wins in their opening weekend of 2024. Still work to do, though, as the Seawolves have been threatening throughout this final 45. Sonoma State looking for their first goal of the season. Their first result as well after losing 2-0 in their opener to Seattle Pacific. Sonoma State were unable to pick up a win against Seattle Pacific or Western in their non-conference play in 2023. The Vikings trying to recreate that here. Bunnell played it down the line, but Fernandez made the run in towards the box. Miscommunication gives possession back to the visitors. Barroasio looking for options ahead, doesn't find any, so he has to go back to Chapman. And back to Navarro-Ossio, just trying to move the Vikings around a little bit to create pockets of space, something that so far Greg Brisbane's squad has done very well in preventing. But now they've got a long diagonal ball that finds Brian Chang, and Silvetti, reliable as always, blocks that cross away. We're going to see some substitutions here for the visitors. Looks like just one change. It is the 2023 second leading scorer for Sonoma State, Javon Cunningham, who comes back in. 4 goals for him in 2023. Still looking for his first tally of this campaign. It's a player who can score and provide as well, as he led the Seawolves with 3 assists to go along with his 4 tallies in 2023. Vikings have done a good job of containing him on the wing, but he's on the ball here now, guarded by Roeder. One-on-one, fancy feet, doesn't get by Andrew. Puts it out for a throw-in. Played infield, Zarate. Switches play now, Bandabela. Albin Janssen gets a couple feet in there. A shot is blocked by Caden Wall. Bandabela collects, trying to get by Hakamata. Can't do it, and working his way up from the back line is Silvetti. Clears it out, and clears out his man as well, who's down on the pitch, slow to get up, as it's now out for a throw-in. A little worse for wear on that one was Rolando Gonzalez. Greg Brisbane up on his feet, up on the touchline, willing his team, trying to get through this last 9 minutes and keep another clean sheet. It's been 170 scoreless minutes of defense for the Vikings in 2024. Can they make it 180 and go to 2-0? Cunningham against Tesfaye, trying to use the pace to get around him, keeps it in bounds, but into help was Silvetti, who since coming on in this second half has just been everywhere defensively. Nothing's gotten by him. It seems every single clearance is coming from him. Hakamata, diving header, only gets it as far as Zarate. Plays the ball through here, a chance for Sonoma State. Oh, what a save! And a penalty is awarded on the foul. Silvetti brought down his man after Dyer made a heck of a save on Jose Rios Lara. And Sonoma State's got a chance to tie this one up with just over 8 minutes remaining. It was certainly a little collision there on what was a clear-cut opportunity for Rios Lara. He ended up getting the shot off. It looked like Galazzo wanted to let the play run to see if Rios Lara would score on his own. And once Dyer was able to make the reaction save, he did point to the spot, and it's going to be Jose Rios Lara, the midfielder, the junior out of Seaside, to try to even things up and get the first tally of the year for Sonoma State. He had 1 goal in 2023. It came against Cal State Monterey Bay. Looking for the 4th of his collegiate career. Dyer trying to deny him and keep it at 1-0. The whistle from Collazo. The run up. And it's slotted into the right side. Jose Rios Lara evens things up at 1 apiece. Frustration on the faces of the Viking defenders as they were sustaining pressure successfully throughout the half, but in the end, a dangerous through ball found Rios Lara. He earned the penalty, he took it, and he finished it off. Rios Lara had 3 shots in 84 minutes against SPU. That was the second most of any outfield player. And now he's got the first goal of 2024 here in game number 2 for the Seawolves, and the first goal conceded by the Vikings. Dyer, the first goal he's given up as a Viking. And now 8 minutes to try to find a winner. Vikings have to go back on the attack. They've been on the back foot for a lot of this second half. Aside from a couple of really good opportunities, it's been mostly Sonoma State. Throw-in will go the Vikings' way. And the clock is going to stop here under 15 minutes. Juan Collazo will be quick to stop the clock on any stoppage of play. As down in some pain as a Sonoma State player. Jacob Sundberg came on for Diego Alvarado after that goal was scored to try to provide a different look offensively. Vikings will have the throw. Janssen to take it. Clock restarts at just under 8 minutes. Off the chest of Bunnell. Back to Janssen. It's dispossessed. Seawolves trying to break the other way. Past one is Zarate. He gets by Tidblom. He gets it into the middle as well. The goal scorer, Rios Lara, with it. Long ball now is going to be whistled dead, as going down in a heap was Rolando Gonzalez, and it's going to be a yellow card, I believe, issued to Sebastiano Silvetti for an off-the-ball foul, and immediately another set piece. Sonoma State could think they might be able to take the lead here. Would be 2 goals in 2 minutes for them. What a way this game has turned around on the Vikings. At this very moment, they're battling to maintain a draw, despite such a good first 45. Marcus Seamer's Seawolves have come out firing here in the second, kept the pressure on, and they earned that tying goal. It's going to be a 5-player wall. Rios Lara and Zarate, the 2 players standing over it. Zarate, the right foot option. Rios Lara, the left. It will be Zarate. Fires it over the crossbar. Vikings were a victim of the unfortunate draw time and time again in 2023. And although non-conference play doesn't mean nearly as much as GNAC competition, they still want to break out of that. As that ball is played to Janssen, showing off the wheels to get by Banda Bela. Body fake to get space behind him. Cuts it inside on his left foot, tried to play through Bunnell. He draws a free kick. And now right back at the other end, the Vikings free kick in scoring range. They've taken Quao Serrano off the field, who would certainly be the first option from this location to try to put a free kick directly on, but Caden Wall has already struck the post from a dead ball situation in this match. He'll be the only Viking player standing over this one. No doubt as who's taking it. 4-man wall set up by Chapman. 6 white shirts in the box as well. Fernandez and Roeder waiting at the outside of the box. Sundberg, the only outfield player back. Wall fires, gets it over the wall, far side. Bunnell had an open header, and he just got under it on a dive. Far over the crossbar. Well executed until the finish, sadly. And substitutes coming now for Sonoma State. Caleb Yoon, who started this match, is going to re-enter play, replacing Grayson Garber. And is that the best opportunity the Vikings are going to get in the final minutes of this game? Yoon fighting for it. A foul called. Bunnell was brought down by Banda Bela. And a yellow card is issued. Not sure if the yellow card went to Banda Bela or to Zarate. But nonetheless, the pocket emptying right now for Juan Collazo. The Vikings are sending just about everybody up here. Greg Brisbane clearly not satisfied with the current score line of 1-1. Sonoma State has the lead in shots right now at 12-10, and Dyer's been forced into action 5 times. Wall takes the free kick straight into the box. Tidblom working for it, but it's just over his head into the arms of Chapman, who throws out quickly, trying to spring a counterattack. Zarate is going to carry it towards midfield. Bunnell in behind him, takes it right back away. And Vikings have numbers coming forward here as play seemed to have stopped for a second and then restarted as Janssen breaks towards the end line, puts a ball, far post. Bunnell is there, heads it back into the fray. It's cleared out. And a foul is called against, I believe, Joar Tidblom. As the clock ticks down to 5 minutes. Since Sonoma State's tied it up, the Vikings have started knocking back on the door, trying to take back the lead they held for about 40 minutes of this match. And it's restarted now at Dyer. Sundberg, flick on header. Now with Fernandez. Outside of the boot pass, won't get by English. Bunnell playing from the ground, and he took a kick to the foot or the shin and down in pain. And Collazo is going to stop play here to take a look at Bunnell. Bunnell went down and immediately cried out in pain as he looked to have been kicked or stomped on as he was playing on the ground. There is a reason that in youth soccer you're told not to play from the ground. And we're seeing it right here as Bunnell in some pain. Looks like he's going to be able to walk it off. Austin McGee, the trainer, out for a second, and then it's right back to the bench. Oh, Bunnell certainly still in pain, though, limping this one off. And since the trainer came onto the field, Juan Collazo is saying that Bunnell does have to go to the sideline, even if he is going to come right back on. Those are the rules. Drop ball for English, and Bunnell comes right back on. A flick on header that time is going to find the run of Alejandro Verdugo, who played it off of Tesfaye, who played it back off of Verdugo for a Viking goal kick. Another substitution here coming. A substitution will be made for Sonoma State as Alejandro Verdugo comes off. That will be his last action of the match. Grayson Garber, who recently came off the pitch, re-enters and immediately wins an aerial duel as the ball comes out ahead towards Rios Lara. Rios Lara plays the ball in now for Cunningham, and Cunningham is offside. Dyer opts to play quickly now, not taking his time on those anymore. Janssen is making one of his long runs ahead, and the ball is really well weighted to find him. Heavy touch around the defender, cuts it back, still on his feet. Back towards the far post, Bunnell! It's saved, and the second opportunity is cleared. Oh, what a save by Chapman! As some pushing and shoving after the fact. Full credit to Jack Chapman. He might have just saved the result for Sonoma State. Bunnell had a point-blank header flashing across goal. I don't know how the sophomore got there in time, stuck out a foot and saved it. That may be the defining moment of this match, as Bunnell really couldn't have done much better with that opportunity. Chapman with the heroics. And on the second opportunity, there was a coming together which caused some pushing and shoving, which is now dissipated. English, the captain, seems to be in some pain, might have taken a knock to the head. And I'm sure that he's going to have to come off the pitch here, at least for a second. And some pushing after that is going to end in a yellow card for Aiden Fernandez. You really love what you saw in that play from Albin Janssen. That's exactly how Greg Brisbane wants to utilize him on the counterattack, down the wing, long ball, and he just outruns his defender, cuts it back, and puts a really good cross into the far post. Bunnell right where he needed to be. That's one of the best saves you're going to see all season made there by Chapman. You got to think the Vikings will be lucky to get a better opportunity than that in the last 3 minutes of this game. The 5th save of the match for Chapman. 11th of the season as he made 6 against Seattle Pacific. He's had a really good start to this season despite conceding 2 in that opening match against the Falcons. Tidblom all the way into the box. Can't find Bunnell. Wall takes it off the chest. Clipped up into the air. And getting it away in the end was Fisk. Silvetti stepping all the way up beyond midfield. Trying to win those aerial duels. And now he plays it off his chest. Can't find Bunnell once again. Racing the other way is Tesfaye trying to deal with that one, and he does. Bunnell uses the power to get by one, lays it off for Fernandez. Roeder's in the middle as Fernandez is dispossessed well by Barry Callahan. Oh, and it's a foul called. Barry Callahan there was getting too handsy with Aiden Fernandez, and it's going to be a Viking free kick. Wall has had good delivery all day, and he needs it right here. 2 minutes on the clock, stopped at 2:06 right now. 2-player Wall. Roeder and Caden Wall standing over it. 7 bodies in the box for Western Washington. 7 plus the goalkeeper for Sonoma State. And it's now just Wall standing over it. Whips it far post and too far. Substitution now for Sonoma State as they're going to put English right back onto the field after a quick foray on the sideline due to a head injury. Clock stopped at exactly 2 minutes. It'll restart on Chapman's kick. If this result holds, it'll be the second consecutive year with a 1-1 draw between these two teams, a series historically which has been dominated by the Seawolves, especially during their run of excellence in the mid-2000s. Vikings have been chipping into that, though, as Bunnell plays it forward for Fernandez, who cannot win the shoulder-to-shoulder battle with Fisk, as Chapman easily takes it and throws it back out. Ball lifted for Siobhan Cunningham, marked by Krubel Tesfaye. Back for Yoon, and into the middle. Cypress Navarro Asio switches play to the far end. 1 minute left. Which team will have the last opportunity as Dyer lifts up and makes the grab there. Maybe just one more look for the Vikings. Dyer plays quickly, launches it beyond midfield. That's going to go goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Janssen's trying to get there first, and English heads it back to his keeper. "45 seconds, 1, maybe 2 more looks at goal for either of these teams. This one's going to come for the Seawolves as Zarate couldn't cut it by Tesfaye. Crucial tackle right there in the dying embers of this match. Gonzalez passed it to Zarate, tried to get it back, and Tidblom was there this time to clean up. English heads it forward. Under 30 seconds remaining. Bunnell played it out wide. Sundberg, everything left in the tank to keep it in bounds. He does. And Fisk passes it out, 15 seconds. Vikings got to throw this in immediately. Hucked up field to Fernandez. Good first touch. Hakamada's in a little bit of space. 7 seconds on the clock. Into the middle. Far post. Ran beyond Janssen. Wall's going to have to fire. And he gets it over the crossbar. And that will do it. A frustrating result for Western Washington. Players collapsing on the field. That took everything out of them. The last 10 minutes of a spirited 1-1 draw. And you gotta say, the play of the match is that save by Jack Chapman on Bunnell with just about 5 minutes remaining from point-blank range to keep this at 1-1 for the second consecutive year. Sonoma State and Western Washington play to a draw, this time up here in Bellingham. Western Washington still undefeated on the year. Now 1 win, no losses, and 1 draw. Sonoma State, they pick up their first result of the season. They're at no wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Goals in this game coming from Lucas Hakamada and Jose Rios Lara from the spot. And these teams cannot break through and find a winner, but an entertaining second 45. And the Vikings finish off this opening weekend with a win and a draw against a couple of CCAA opponents, and they will face more CCAA opposition in their next match on Thursday as they take on a powerhouse in Cal State LA, Thursday the 12th at 7 p.m. Later on tonight, Viking volleyball taking on San Francisco State at 7. I'll be on the call with that alongside Zen Hill. Hope you can tune in to that. And tomorrow, the women's team takes on Colorado Springs right here at Harrington Field at 1 p.m. And, of course, we will have the coverage here on Vikings TV. Final score of this one, Vikings 1, Seawolves 1. I've been Adam Race on the call for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good afternoon. And as always, let's go Vikes.